Okay, well, since the last few attempts at making other videos have all gone horribly wrong, required extra materials or stuff that I couldn't find, let's take a look at something I took out the random thing box. And this is a light from eBay. It started off, these used to be really cheap. Let me just tell what they're described as. 1 watt LED recessed light walkway step stair wall corner flood spot lamp AC 85 to 265 volts. They're available in a couple of shapes, circular and square. The circular is instantly preferable because you don't have to worry too much about lining it up. You drill a hole, you pop this in, the little wings clip back when you've put it in, and it holds it roughly in place. They don't feel super strong, but they feel okay. So you just basically you drill a hole to accommodate the bulk of the mechanism at the back here, the chassis. But you put it into the wall, and it's just designed as a sort of a downlight that splashes a bit of light out. Let's try it out. Let's get the hoppy in, and the hoppy will give us a little power analysis. I expect it to be in the region of approximately 1 watt, owing to the fact that it is what looks like a single 1 watt LED running on one of the classic little drivers. So we'll plug it in. This one is warm white, and the shape of light it puts out is just a splash, right? Tell you what, so you can see what shape of light it puts out. I shall turn this off, and I shall just put it down like that. I shall adjust the exposure. This is where it all goes terrible. Oh, that is. It's putting out, yeah, just basically a wash of light spreading out. Yellow in this instance because it's seeing the sort of warm white, and the sort of the camera's not set for that at the moment, but it's a reasonable splash of light it's putting out. All the light from that 1 watt LED is being fired out the front here. Okay, watch your eyes, the light is coming back. The light is back. Power. 1.1 watt, that's fine. 0.3 power factor, typical, it's what you'd expect. Rightio, let us unplug this and explore it. The little power supply comes off, as they often do. So it appears to be machined out a block of aluminum, and they've bored a hole in from this end, but they've also drilled a hole here for a stud. Let's remove that. Let's remove the thing that holds everything in the back. So there's a little cable tie designed to keep the pressure off the cable, which when you see where it's going through here, that's maybe a good thing. Let's get in an inappropriate tool like a big pair of pliers, and I shall hopefully be able to unscrew that. Okay, so this is the bit, the spring-loaded bit that normally just holds it into position. So it's not actually drilled in that deep. Let me just zoom down on this, since everything's going to be pretty smallish after this. So yeah, they've drilled and tapped that, and then they've inserted the LED and its total internal reflection lens, I think, the look of it. We shall find out. And they've trapped it in place with a little grub screw. So let's get the grub screw out. I'm going to have to use a more specialist set of screwdrivers for this. I'm going to guess this one. That should do it. That is doing it. Okay. I'll take the grub screw right out completely. The grub screw is right out completely. So is this going to come out now? Yes, it is. Is it going to come out easily? No, it's not. Oh, rightio. So we've got, it's not a total internal reflection lens. It is just a lens on the front of a housing, the sort of one that you'd normally find clipped over LEDs. And the LED inside is just a 1 watt Luxeon star style LED, which means this is absolutely hackable. You can put new LEDs into this. I don't like the fact that they've drilled in, but they've actually chosen it. When they've drilled it, this is something that could be fixed with a file. They've drilled so it's just basically just nipped through the aluminium at this side, but then they've actually drilled another hole through that for the access to the cable. But what guarantees that this LED is going to be held up against the end in there? The answer is luck. I think, to be honest, I'd want a bit of thermal paste, because ultimately when you push this in, this is what holds that LED in place. And the grub screw is only pinching gently from one side, so it might even have been better using, I'm kind of loath to say, a bit of a couple of screws would have been nice. Bit of a thermal pad, something like that would have been quite nice for holding that in. But anyway, let's take a look at the power supply. It's all very simple construction. It's worth mentioning that these started off really cheap, like £4 or £5. Maybe you can still get them for that, but now the price has just gone through the roof. I'm looking at the back there. Do you see the back is, it's almost like it's not ideal for mating flush for the back of the LED for heat sinking. It's not that bad. It's only a watt, but you know what? It would extend its lifespan if it was actually properly heat sinked into this, because this is a blessing in disguise. This is a big aluminium heat sink that would be just great for that. Okay, let's open the power supply. Is it a bright power chip? Is it a discrete one? It's one of the tiny little circuit boards you find jammed into GU10s. The capacitor is discharged because I just put my finger across it. It's got a little chip. The little chip's number is BP Bright Power 9021A, which is a super common chip in there. It's a very common chip. That is a little tiny power supply chip designed to go in conjunction with these tiny transformers. There's a little ceramic capacitor this side, a diode that side for the rectification. They've cheaped out. The incoming supply here is only going to a single diode. That is too cheap. But then all the rest, it's a smoothing capacitor, which is the bit that probably go, and then just the chip and a few support components, and it's just a mass-produced circuit board. It's really small because it's usually designed to go just into the back of a GU10 lamp to drive the LEDs in it. But the construction isn't too bad. It's certainly got potential. If you wanted to make it low voltage, you can make it low voltage just by using either a low voltage LED driver or even just choosing to run it. Maybe you could power it from a USB power supply if you wanted, or batteries with suitable resistor. And if you wanted, you could cascade some in series if you wanted to run 3 of these lights off one 12-volt supply, as opposed to maybe just one off a 5-volt supply. Or you could actually make it battery operated if you so desired. Actually built-in battery into something if you wanted just a ambient light. I think there's better options to that though. But there we go. It's an interesting construction. It was worth exploring and taking apart and seeing what the construction was like and how hackable it is.